It's a blue moon. Okay, so remember that you're going to be quizzed in the second special song. And we're doing our own kind of Native American ceremony. The song that we're going to perform now is from the Iroquois Nation, of the Six Nations, and it's a calling song. And so picture yourself out in the woods and hearing other people calling you, and what it would sound like if you were listening to all these people calling you and calling you here into service.
Welcome to Unity. I'm Richard Flonder, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our service. If you are experiencing Unity for the first time, whether here in the room or online, we are adopting you into our spiritual community, and we truly appreciate you being with us. We regularly join in affirmation prayer and affirmative prayer statements during our service, and most of those are on the inside front cover of your bulletin, as well as on the monitors. Before we begin our service, please take a moment to check your cell phone or pager and be sure it's completely off so we won't interfere with the people joining us online. Thank you. While we are checking our cell phones, I'd like to welcome our online friends. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we do appreciate you. We are blessed to have as our musicians today, Joyful Noise Choir. All right, let's take that deep cleansing breath. Just take a deep breath in and let it out. And whatever's going on in the world, just flow out into the ground. As we open our service, focusing our attention through our opening affirmation. Please join me in prayerfully and powerfully speaking together 3 times. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life the all-loving goodness of God. Again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Please join me in reading aloud our statement of unity found in your bulletin and on the wall. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to dynamically express our wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. We acknowledge the universal teachings, wisdom of the Christ and all spiritual paths. I now choose to open to the presence of divine love and to be changed at depth. Throughout this sacred time, God is uplifting me and through my heart, the world. Our heart minister, Dwayne, will read today's message from the Unity Daily Word.
Thank you. Pray for others. Each day we interact with people moving through their individual experiences. Some are encountering joy and love. Some are meeting with a trial and tribulation, but we all walk the path of life together. Whether we know each other or not, we are all members of one spiritual family, for we are all children of God and united in spirit. As we support each other in prayer, our bond is strengthened. Prayer has the power to unite us one to another. We experience this power right now as we pray for others and as we reach out with support and encouragement. Through the power of our unity, we walk the path of life as one. Now concerning love of the brothers and sisters, you yourselves have been taught by God to love one another. Thessalonians 4:9. I am one with the family of God. Pray for others. Thank you.
So we have a song that requires audience participation. Please stand up. There's movement, so you won't get bored either. So just watch, you'll figure it out.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude in me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so
support each other here at Unity. I'll highlight a few of those coming up. Others can be found in your bulletin and our publication center point in our weekly emails, newsletter, and on our website. Our Thanksgiving celebration begins Wednesday, November 24th at 7:30 p.m. in the service of appreciation. One of the most meaningful ways to celebrate Thanksgiving holiday is to come together in a service of conscious appreciation and gratitude. On Thanksgiving Day, we once again have our turkey dinner at noon at the community room. We provide the turkeys, you bring specific side dishes. There are sign-ups on the patio and in the bookstore or book center during the week. Our Native American services is next Sunday. From their hearts, members of Unity Walnut Creek and special guests will bring experiences and stories and music to share of what religious scholar Houston Smith called the primal religion. Tickets are on sale for the Christmas party, December 11th, go on sale today. Join this festive season to celebrate and socialize with a Unity community. Your Christmas party tickets will be on the patio selling tickets and taking sign-ups to help put that together. Unity has talent in many creative ways. Come see what our fabulous Unity artists have created and do your holiday shopping. Yes, your turn? Okay, it's his turn.
This is my announcement. I am David Brooks. And here's the news. I'm perfect in my approach, just like every one of you. On the 12th of December, we are having an artist craft show. We've got so many talented folks here. Turn those around. One of which is an artist here. These are done by Mario. Mario! Oh. We will have handcrafted jewelry, and Mario's got more paintings coming. There's all kinds of good things to come and buy. The YOU will be giving us some refreshments and wrapping presents for us, so come and have a good time. It's the 12th from 1 to 4. Thank you very much.
If you're here with us for the first time, we are pleased to have you join us. We would like to extend our special blessing to you. We rub our hands to focus our energy, and we say together, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ light shining through you. We would appreciate if you would raise your hand now so we can acknowledge you with a gift. If you're here for the first time, yeah. If you're here for the first time, yeah. On this gift is a shell. On this shell is a statement that says, "Just as God has a design for every shell of the sea, so God has a design for your life." You're invited to join us on the patio after the service, where we can have a chance and opportunity to get to know you. It's time to greet each other.
Good morning.
believe in peace. We believe in peace. We believe in peace. We believe in peace. We will work for 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 peace. Jerusalem, Ramallah, in Tel Aviv, in Washington, in Rafah, in Baghdad, in Lebanon, in New York City. We can live in peace.
All right. So take that deep breath, and as you let it out, wiggle around, get comfortable in your seats as we move into our time of prayer and meditation together. And let the music be part of that journey into the center of your heart. Gently breathing in, releasing and letting go. Resting here within your heart. Open ourselves to experience you more deeply. And we remember that you are that all-loving presence. You are that infinite love that unfolds us. And we open ourselves to experience your love. We let that love fill us as the gentle rain blesses and renews the earth. We let that love pour into our being as the waterfall renews the river and sends its life cascading. So your love pours into us. We let your love move through our being as the wind gently moves through the trees, touching each leaf, every part of life, renewing, uplifting, blessing. We let your love fill us, for we are one with that love. We become aware of that love radiant within us as the sun rises, bringing to our awareness the beauty of the earth. We feel your love within us, touched by your presence, filled with your love. One with that love, we rest in that still place of silence, deeper than heart, deeper than mind, in that pure place of stillness, one with your love. Mother, Father, God, infinite love, beloved presence, we know that we are one with you, one with your love. And so we choose to send that love forth to heal, to bless, to uplift. We radiate that love first to our own bodies for health and vitality. We send it to mind and heart for wisdom and understanding. We send that love to those that are dear to us, blessing each one with healing, harmony, peace. We send that love from our hearts across the spiritual community, blessing everyone, becoming a part of that light and wisdom that flows through each. We send your love across these communities in which we live, across our nation and the nations of the world, healing the fears of all people and bringing forth a great wisdom and compassion. We send your love to all who join us in prayer, whether in mosque or synagogue, temple or church. We send your love to the earth and to the creatures of the earth. And we send your love to the heart of every single person. For you are that love in every heart. And in that love, we are one. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. It is so.
Please join us in singing Deliver Me.
But let me pray upon the highest
We made it to Thanksgiving time again. Congratulations. Did you notice that it came quicker this year than it did the year before? That's probably something we should be thankful for. I'm not quite sure about that one. There are so many things that are important in this experience that we're approaching of Thanksgiving, because in Unity we understand the power of that giving thanks and how it lifts us, how it draws that good into our lives, how it attunes us so that we become instruments of that love that is what we're saying thankful for. So this Wednesday, we get together, we have our Thanksgiving service. Don and the heart ministers are going to give us a very beautiful experience. I invite you to come and really let yourself experience and acknowledge that which you really are thankful for. And then being able to get together again in our new area, having a kitchen to do Thanksgiving dinner. So bring your stuff. We'll have a great time. And, bring anybody, the family, come on in. And I know if the folks that plan it really appreciate if you let them, get a ticket and let them know that you're going to be here. So their only concern is that they got enough turkeys. That's what it comes down to. As I was looking at Thanksgiving, I was looking at a couple things that I'm very thankful for. And they're gifts of understanding that were given to me along my spiritual path. So I thought I'd share that with you. There was a time in my own spiritual journey where I tried to check out, what this was all about. And I started it by going to a number of different churches. Some of you may have had that same experience. I hope yours was better than mine. I'd get there and there'd be some beautiful things, and I'd go, oh, I like this. And then we'd come to that part where they'd explain to you that they were the only ones that had it right. And I could just do the math. It just didn't make much sense to me. And I thought, well, if I can't trust them on that, what can I? So I really found the whole understanding of our spirituality very, very challenging for a while. And then I had the gift. My folks became involved with the Edgar Cayce teachings, and they were exploring the beautiful wisdom that he offered through his psychic gift. And one of the things Cayce talked about was universal laws. And when I began to understand that, and I joined with my father and mother in really exploring that, at that point, things began to make sense. Because I'd heard everybody trying to explain with one theology another why, even though there was this loving God, there were very unloving experiences that we'd run into. And none of it made much sense to me. And then I began to understand that's not some capricious being out there doing it to us. We're the ones that are creating our life experience. And here's how we do. And when we understand those laws, then we begin to have power to create what we really want and really bring forth what has meaning. So that was a very exciting experience to me. And to realize that with those laws, the things that we're experiencing are the outpicturing of our own consciousness. There are thoughts and our feelings and our beliefs and what we've done to others and what the attitudes that we have expressed. So that was wonderful, except for one thing. A problem showed up in that scenario, and let me give you an example of that problem. There's a friend shared with me his experience of a little while ago, and I found it very, very helpful. A member of our spiritual community, and he was explaining that he had this situation that showed up in his life, which some of us may have touched at one time or another, and that was through the blessing of the anti-smog requirements of California, his vehicle was no longer acceptable on our highways. Okay, and so what it really took was about twice the value of the vehicle to get it fixed so that it would work. So you begin to see some of the challenge, and then another part of the challenge was he didn't have it to pay twice the value of the vehicle anyhow. And of course, if he didn't have that, then he didn't have the money to put down towards a new car, which would solve the problem in a different way. So he was in one of these great spiritual situations called lose, lose, lose. Okay, and the challenge with that is when you look at it spiritually, what he was experiencing was his own consciousness. And the unpleasant part of that is he was experiencing his own consciousness. And that's the problem with the laws. Yeah, this was a wise being. He would learn and grow and become wiser through the experience. But what do you do about the car? So there's a part of that universal law thing, as nice as it is, that kind of runs into that sticky place. Okay, it's mine. I've got to deal with it. And I love the laws because they bring everything into learning. So I remember when I was looking at a part of that myself, and I went, okay, where do I do? What do I understand? Because I go back to the teachings of Jesus because he is the one that has unfolded that consciousness most meaningfully for me. And so there's a part of his teaching where he explains this consciousness that he's bringing in, and he says, "Do not think that I came to destroy the law," which is what we're talking about, the spiritual law, to destroy the law or the prophets. "I did not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For assuredly I say to you, till heaven and earth pass away, not one jot or tittle by any means shall pass from the law until all is fulfilled." That's bad news. Okay, that's basically say all the junk you got in your consciousness you got to deal with. There's no way out. And here's the guy that had it all together, and he says, you don't get around any of it. Not inspiring. So, have you ever looked in the Bible for loopholes? Well, it really is part of what keeps people in my profession. I mean, essentially we're... So, fortunately, this man in his studies, and he knew and understood the laws very well. But there was also a part of that work in consciousness that he had been looking at in addition. And what he had understood from some things that he'd heard, that there is that which transforms the situations that we are in. That yes, we're experiencing our consciousness, but there's a part of that where we are one with a power that is greater than any limitation. And it was that he began to go to. And I want to share with you the words that he shared with me. He was looking at that idea and that experience that you can touch the love of God. You can touch it in a way that you know that you're loved. And that transforms what's going on for you. He says it didn't come all at once. I tried a couple of times one night, and again the next morning, each time feeling a little better, but still no resolution. So I make time in the day, and I sit down and get quiet. I breathe through my heart till I feel I'm in coherence. I meditate until I truly feel connected to the only power and the only presence in the universe and in me. I know that it is sentient and it is benevolent, and therefore that I am loved. That I am loved deeply, completely, without limit. No strings, unconditionally. I know that I am so deeply loved by infinite intelligence who knows so much better than I do the resolution of my challenge. I know that my problem is already taken care of. It's taken care of. This came to me, and I felt it. Now, when he left this inner experience, this moment of meditation, and went back into the things that were before him, he found that he no longer had worry, that he really knew it was taken care of. And since he still had the same amount of money in the same vehicle, he got a little curious about how it was going to be taken care of. But the interesting thing was, it was so deep that even as he was wondering what that was, he didn't go back into worrying. Because he knew, he really knew within himself that it was taken care of. Now, an interesting thing began to happen for him. His wife became very interested in going and looking at a new vehicle. Now, he had already done the work, and he figured out that they didn't have the money to make the down payment to get the vehicle and all that sort of stuff. So it was a little easier for him to let her do that. And he explained that he was one of those people that, figures it all out, takes care of the details and the nuts and bolts, and she was kind of the intuitive part of the family. And if your family is that combination of rational detail and intuition, you may have discovered that not all of your purchasing experiences are maximum harmony. Now I don't know about his, but I'm just guessing here a little bit. And but because in a sense he knew this was all taken care of, so it was okay, so he could go along. And so he did his part and she did hers, and they ended up being at a place, and sure, the vehicle's very nice and it would certainly do. And they listened to the salesperson, and again, he was quite clear what was already known. If you didn't have the money to make the down payment and set the thing up, it wasn't going to work. So that was clear. However, it happened to be Saturday night, and there was some real desire on that salesman's part to make things happen. Now, one of the difficulties in making things happen is they didn't want to give them any money for this vehicle that couldn't be sold in the state of California that needed a lot of work. Now, you can understand that, but Spirit didn't. So things began to change. So they had to actually, what they ended up doing was giving them more money than the vehicle was worth if the vehicle would have been running right, which it wasn't. And they had to waive all the rest of the stuff that didn't work and make the changes, so that the result was they were able to turn around without having to pay the down payment and all that stuff, drive out with something that really worked for them, that was, in fact, something that worked financially, was brand new instead of many years old, met all the requirements of the state of California, and probably would for years. He drove out with a new consciousness. From a consciousness of not enough and it can't work, to a consciousness of I can accept this goodness flowing in and through my life. That's okay.
You see, when you touch that love, it does take care of it. Now, I got to admit, I love the fun of finding out how it happens. But at this point in my life, it's become very clear to me what is making it happen. And yes, the laws bring us to those points where we have to meet ourselves. But there's something else that I'm so grateful for, and it's called grace. That pure love that is behind the whole thing. Because there is a loophole in the Bible. And it's very simple. Love fulfills the law. Love fulfills the law. Not more money, not a better deal. Love fulfills the law. That's grace. Because it's always there. It's not something that comes from somewhere into your life. It's who you are coming forward to express the wholeness of who you are. Because, yeah, we are all those limitations we get it to rub up against. They're part of our consciousness. But there's only one reason we're there. That we might experience the grace. Live the love. And let it lift us. And understanding that that's the real game in town is part of what I'm grateful for. And the gift is, as I get to look out here at you, I know who you really are. You are that love. You are here to live and experience that grace in its fullness. There is nothing in your life that it cannot transform. For it is the truth of who you are. Bless you.
That is good. If you would like prayer support for challenges or celebrations, our heart ministers will be available after the service in the sanctuary or on the patio. Our heart ministers are wearing the lavender sashes, as modeled by Dwayne there. You're also invited to place a prayer request in a prayer box by the front door or in the book center, and we'll be praying with you throughout the week. It's time for our prosperity celebration. Please remember, if you're giving a Love in Action donation, to use the envelopes marked Love in Action. I invite you to take your tithe or love offerings in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. And repeat our affirmation with me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. The ushers will be collecting towards the end of the song.
You think you own whatever.
let's bless our children. Go deep in your hearts, and as you speak the words, send them all that love. Children, you are loved, special, and important. God loves you, and so do we. Bless these gifts, knowing that the true gift given here is that commitment on each of our hearts to touch this world in a way that brings forth its wholeness, its beauty, and its peace. In that deep joy. Amen. Please stand, and at this part of the service, our children join us in saying our prayer and singing our closing song. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song. You are the love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.